Anistopol, Ostalis, Turvan, Ikas, Novio. 5 countries all in close proximity to each other in an atoll with Ostalis in the middle surrounded by the rest. Many times in the past they waged wars against each other, trying to conquer and destroy. However, with the rise of modern technology and the advancement of warfare, they realized the continuation of their disputes would only end in mutually assured destruction. And so not but 76 years ago, leaders from each country met together in Ostalis and held a summit, choosing to put their differences and decide to work together lest they destroy each other. Ostalis is easily the largest of the countries, finding itself surrounded by the others. As such, it was the most heavily affected by the wars. It had the most land, and by gaining more land you can expand the power of your own country, so of course the others attempted many times to take their own peace and conquer it. As such, little of the old architecture and history of the land has persisted into the modern era, but in the face of destruction, the people always built back, better, stronger. Partially, the reason why the country was able to stay so stalwart was due to the natural barrier formed around its coast, keeping everyone inside safe and making it much harder for invaders to get in. Today, it acts as the financial and diplomatic center for the people of the AOTIN collective, and serves as a reminder of the needless bloodshed that occurred on the land all those years ago. Anistopol resides to the north of Ostalis. In the past, it held the largest population with the most powerful military of all countries. It was near unstoppable, and would have persisted that way if not for an event 70 years ago known as the Quiet Night. Following a successful campaign into Ikas and Turvan, the military force of Anistopol had been called back to the land for much-needed rest and resupply. Unbeknownst to them, Ikas and Turvan had allied at the time and allowed themselves to lose to Anistopol at the time so they could protect a weapon they were building. Using funds that they brought together, Ikas and Turvan purchased an early sort of stealth plane developed by the Samsara company. Smaller, less noticeable, and faster than any airship at the time. But that wasn't the only purchase they made. They had accumulated the resources to construct a bomb that they would drop on Anistopol. And that is what they did. The explosion was comparable to that of a hydrogen bomb, and the destruction made a message more than clear to Anistopol and to the others. A message of the grim future that awaited if they kept up their wars. This would be the fate of each and every people in each and every country in the area. They made peace so that events such as the Quiet Night would never be repeated. Today, Anistopol leads the military matters of the collective, training, recruitment, and technology, not to be used against each other, but in defense of anybody who may threaten their peace. Novio lies to the far southeast of Ostalis. That is, it is both the farthest from the other countries and the smallest. It has been able to avoid involving itself in the petty conflicts that the others find themselves in. Due to the people having far more time on their hands, Novio has been able to invest in the study of magic, far greater and more in-depth than the other countries. In addition, they are the only country to have a king as their leader. Due to the mostly peaceful nature of the people in Novio, in the event of attack, most would be ordered to flee to secret underground bunkers. As such, there are still many abandoned bunkers beneath the land from all sorts of different eras. Novio contributes both magical and technological research and advancement to the AOTIN collective, as well as being a popular location for tourists. It is a wonderfully beautiful coral reef around its northeastern coast. Turvan and Ikas, both are mentioned together, as they actually have the closest proximity to each other. Being on the northwestern side of Ostalis, they both have a history of warring against each other and Ostalis throughout much of their history. The only reason they ever found themselves separated is because long ago 2 brothers were warring to see who would inherit the crown of their dying father. Neither decisively won, and instead the royalty was abolished. This only angered the 2 brothers more, and instead of warring against each other, they warred against each other's people. But in time, the 2 brothers died, and the new leaders agreed to ally. There will be times of peace and times of betrayal, and back to peace, but in the end, they really were the only 2 countries to ever consider an alliance prior to the summit at Ostalis. Today, Turvan is the industrial capital of the AOTIN collective, while Ikas is the agricultural capital. Together, they make a powerful duo, greatly contributed to the overall strength of the collective. Despite its small size, the AOTIN collective is able to protect itself from larger rival nations with a military hardened by centuries of constant warfare. The collective's experienced navy is second to none, routinely patrols the waters surrounding the atoll, making it a popular destination for merchants, fishermen, and tourists. The land's rich history offers an unprecedented opportunity for archaeologists, treasure hunters, and explorers of all kinds to visit. With the economic boom following unification, the collective has invested heavily into the arts and infrastructure, to rebuild damaged monuments and restore the great cities of old. Painters, sculptors, and architects travel from far and wide to assist in these massive public works projects, and little by little the AOTIN collective becomes as beautiful as the environment that surrounds it. These new museums, picturesque fields of grain, calm seas, delicious traditional food, and temperate climate make for a great vacation destination. Whether it be for political reasons or purely for fun, the AOTIN collective is a place you may want to find yourself visiting.